Hi guys, Jonathan with Sagify. I'm going to show you how you can set up your trial account with Sagify, connect it to your Shopify store using your own client ID and secret credentials to allow Sagify to connect to your store. The alternative would be reaching out to us and we supply you with the credentials. This gives you a bit more control that allows you to simply uninstall the app off your store so that it loses connection. And if you are familiar with your own sort of development, this will be a pretty easy task, but with this video, you'll be able to do it yourself, even if you have very minimal experience. So to start, we want to make sure we've downloaded Sagify onto our desktop and onto the computer that has access to your Sage company file. I'll assume you've downloaded that already now. So I'm going to go ahead and open Sagify first. And if you haven't created an account, you can click sign up. Otherwise, go ahead and enter in your login credentials. I will do the full process here. So let's go ahead and make an account. We'll call this Jonathan Demo. And we'll say this is a demo company, Sagify. Put in a phone number and an address. Let's do this. And now our account is successfully created. This is going to boot up Sagify. We'll just wait for that to finish. Now this is the entry into Sagify and the Sagify's main window that you'll be interacting with. Now our first step is to connect our Shopify store with Sagify. So you can do so by clicking on File, Manage Stores, Add Store. And with this screen open, Add Shopify Store, our first field to enter is going to be our shop URL and our shop name. So let's go ahead and open our Shopify so I can show you where you'll find that information. So your shop URL is actually in your browser. If you look after the store parameter, it's this value here. This might be your actual shop name, but sometimes it could be something generic and nonsense, something like that. Well, you'll still want to copy this value after store, and then you're going to put that as your store or your shop URL, followed by .myshopify.com. And then you can then name this store. So this is what you'll see inside of Sagify. So go ahead and call it something meaningful like Sagify Demo, but this would be your company name. Next, we're going to need our client ID and a client secret. You can generate this yourself, and this is the purpose of this video, by going into your dev dashboard. So the quickest way to go into here is to click on your company organization name in the top right of Shopify. And you'll see this little left arrow with a slash and then a right arrow closing it. That is, when you click on this, will bring you to your dev dashboard. If you don't see that here, then you probably haven't enabled dev development or custom development on your Shopify store. You can do so by clicking on the bottom left hand in the side menu settings, and then under the apps submenu, and then click on develop apps. And you'll see this card here, build and manage apps in your dev dashboard, build apps in dev dashboard. You can then click on this and it will bring you to your dashboard. Now, it might say something like enable custom app development, which you will have to click and enable to turn it on. Once you come back to this page, you'll see this button here and then you can click it. If you don't see this card at all, it likely means that your particular user that you're logged into as does not have the correct user permissions to create apps or modify apps on your Shopify store. So you'll need to ask your administrator to give yourself those permissions or log in with another account that has those permissions. So now let's go ahead and click on Build Apps in the dashboard. This will be your dev dashboard. In the upper right-hand corner, we're going to click on Create App. And now we'll give our app name, again, something meaningful like Sagify, so you'll know what this is related to. And then I typically just give some sort of abbreviation that referring to the company name. Let's go ahead and click Create. And now we're going to create a version, which is what it lands on. Our first area of interest is the URLs card. We're going to erase example.com, keeping the HTTPS : and we're going to write easy apps, ezapps.io/API shopify/auth/install. Don't worry about writing this out, but you can if you want. It'll be posted below on the description of the video, and if you're watching this from our help docs, it'll also be there, so you can just copy paste these values. You're going to want to uncheck embedded app in Shopify admin, and then scroll down to access card, and in the scopes you're going to want to paste the access scopes that Sagify is required to be able to read the correct data from your store. Again, you can copy paste these, but if you're interested, it's write orders, read all orders, read customers, read products, write inventory, read locations, read returns, read payment terms, read Shopify payments payouts, payments accounts, payments disputes, read cash tracking, and write draft orders. Alternatively, you can also click on select scopes and then just sort of check them off. But copy pasting is the quickest and easiest. Now let's scroll down finally to redirect URLs, and we're going to write in another value, and that's going to be https://easyapps.io/api/shopify/auth/callback. So essentially the same URL as above, except we're swapping out install for callback. Let's go ahead and release this version. And you don't have to give it a name, but I typically just write release, and I press release. And now we'll click on settings, and you'll see we have a client ID and a client secret. Let's go ahead and copy the client ID, go back into Sagify, and we'll paste that value into the client ID, and we'll do the same thing for the client secret. You want to make sure that no one ever sees this secret, so you can click this eyeball and you'll see the value and copy it, but just make sure you don't share that with anyone else. So copy the secret and paste it into the client secret. And then we'll have to check off I created my own Shopify app, because you are the one that's creating this Shopify app. And then we'll go ahead and click connect with Shopify. So now it's saying our client credentials have been saved, however the app is not yet installed on your store. True. So go to your Shopify Dev dashboard and install the app on your store to complete the setup. Open Dev dashboard. You can say yes. Ours is already open, so I'll just say no. Let's go back to our Dev dashboard, click on our app on the upper left, and then in the upper right card we have installs. Go ahead and click install app, and then select the store that we want to connect to. Install Sagify custom app we just made. You get redirected to the Easy App site with a success message. You can then close this window, go back into Sagify, click connect with Shopify one more time, and now you'll get this edit store, which is now means it was successful. And the next step is to select our Sage 50 company file. So let's go ahead and press browse. And there's my Sage 50 company database file. And just wait a moment for it to connect. And our next step is to enter in our Sage credentials. So this is going to be your Sage username and your Sage password. If you have multiple users available to you, like maybe a sysadmin, or if you want to make your own user for Sagify, you can do so. The benefit of that is it'll allow you to connect to the database in multi-user mode, so that you can be using Sage at the same time as Sagify is running. But Sagify usually only runs and opens the company file for less than a minute, so it's not a big hindrance, but that's just something to be aware of if you're going to log in, let's say, as Jonathan, and you put in your credentials. Well, when Sagify is running, you won't be able to log into your Sage until you sort of disconnect with Sagify. So the store is now set up, and I'll just activate it here. And then the next step is going to now configure all your settings and the way that you want your orders to enter in from your Shopify store. You can verify that your connection is working by either clicking on the Shopify Payouts tab. You should see all your Shopify payouts. Same thing with the Orders tabs. You should now see all your orders and then begin processing orders. Before you do that, though, again, you want to make sure you set up all your rule-based logic to match your workflows, such as connecting it to the right customer accounts, deposit accounts, revenue accounts, and all those different mappings. We have videos and separate guides for that, so be sure to check those out. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out to us on our website or shoot us an email, or check out our help guides for the next steps. And good luck in your journey and connecting your Shopify store with Sage 50, and I hope it eliminates your manual data entry. Thank you.